Hello, good evening, and welcome to yet another session on how to crack day one companies. And today we'll see how to crack Wipro test. So before we start, uh, I just wanted to do a quick check on the audibility of the session. Right. So we'll just wait for a minute or two. Start. So all your questions related to how to crack Wipro's test will be answered, right? So in case if I miss answering any of them, so I'll be taking your questions at the end of this webinar. So you can get your answers then. So I think let's start so that others can join us in between. Anyway, this video will be available in our Facebook page, so you can watch it whenever you need, right? So let's quickly move to the agenda for the day. So we'll quickly see the Wipro's test pattern, and then we'll see all the areas of testing, say quant, reasoning, and verbal. And then we'll see the newly introduced section that is a coding test, and we'll give you some tips and strategies and some of the questions that were asked in this year Wipro's coding test. And then we'll discuss about essay writing, how to practice and what do they test in that. And then few essay writing topics we'll be sharing with you. And let's see what is the cutoff that is required to crack, to clear this Wipro's test and move to the next round. And we'll share with you some free ebooks download links, right? So, and then there's going to be an exclusive webinar offer at the end of the session, right? So let's quickly see, some of the changes that has been happening in this year recruitment process when it comes to the top IT services companies, right? So Wipro, so this is a new test pattern that they are following for this year, where they have introduced a coding round, and the result, we are seeing just 5 to 10% test conversions in almost all the institutions Wipro has visited. So that means if 1,000 students are attending the test conversion is between 50 and 100. That's too less when compared to last year, but that's how the numbers are this year. Okay, we can't attribute this load conversion numbers just to the performance of the candidates, okay, because the company itself in need of less number of freshers, so that's why the numbers are less. Accenture, this year what change that we have seen is like Accenture's test till last year was conducted only by Aspiring Minds and Merit Track, but this year CoCubes has also joined that particular, as an outsourcing partner. So Accenture's test this year is conducted by CoCubes also, right? Capgemini, there is a change in the pattern. They have introduced technical questions. TCS, they have introduced coding round. So almost all these companies, there is a change in the pattern. Infosys, this year, we have not seen any change, okay, right? So all these tests, updated patterns are available in placement season. So in our portal, so you can practice all these tests from our side. Okay, so what is Wipro's test pattern this year? It's almost the same like last year, except for one change, that is they have introduced coding round. So the aptitude test, as usual, till like last year, it is conducted by aspiring minds, and it's an adaptive test. So you have Quant, so there is 16 questions in 16 minutes. And you have logical or reasoning section where 18 questions are asked, 18 minutes time, and verbal 22 questions and 22 minutes. And then the next one is a coding round. That's a programming round. So you'll be given 2 programs and you'll be given 45 minutes to write. Okay. And then the third round is gonna be essay writing, where you will be given 1 question, 1 essay, 1 topic on which you need to write an essay, and you will be given 20 minutes time. So this is the test pattern of Wipro. So you have adaptive test conducted by aspiring minds, and then coding. So Automata is a coding platform of aspiring minds. So 2 programs are there, and then essay writing. So in all these rounds are elimination rounds. So that means like, so you'll have to perform well in all 3 rounds to move to the next stage. Okay, so what are the major areas covered in quant reasoning verbal? So in Wipro's test, as we have mentioned in our articles, so almost all areas are covered in Wipro's test. Okay, right? So almost all the areas in quant, verbal, reasoning, everything has been covered in Wipro's test. So the only thing that you will have to keep in mind is it's an adaptive test. Now, that means based on your answer, the next question's difficulty level will vary. Okay, so if you have taken our practice test, in our practice test, what we have done is like, we have shown you the difficulty level and the weightage for each question. Okay, in our Wipro adaptive test. So that means on the right hand side top, for each question, you will see the marks for that particular question. Suppose if you are getting a 5-mark question, and if you are answering that question, if that question is correct, that means you will get 5 marks for that question. And the next question that you will attempt will be of higher difficulty level, and the weightage will also be high. So that means you might get a 6-mark question or a 7-mark question. So if you are getting a 6-mark question or a 7-mark question, that means you can be sure that the 5-mark question that you have answered is correct. In case if you get a 4-mark question or a 3-mark question after attempting the 5-mark question, that means the 5-mark question that you have answered is wrong. So this is how an adaptive test works. That means what is important is you will have to ensure that you are attempting the questions continuously. Okay, so it's not that if you attend the questions, say 10 questions correct, you might get selected. No, it's not that way. So you will have to get at least 6 to 7 questions continuously correct, so that the weightage for that question will be high. So the marks that you score at the end will also be high. So you can clear the Wipro's adaptive test. So this is one key difference when it comes to the adaptive test when you compare with the linear test. This is very similar to how other aspiring minds tests are working. Like in case if you have attempted aspiring minds Accenture test already, then Wipro's test will also be following the same model. So you need not worry about it. That platform and everything you will be familiar with, because for both Accenture and Wipro, aspiring minds conducts the test. Accenture, they have few more vendors also. In case if you have attempted Accenture's aspiring minds test, then Wipro will also be the same. Same holds true for vice versa also, right? So as far as the difficulty level of the questions are concerned, that's what I said. If you attempt questions continuously correct, then you will get higher difficulty questions. Spend more time on those questions. Try to get those questions right, because you will get more marks. Okay. So don't give equal weightage, equal timing for all the questions. For higher difficulty level questions, give some more time. Okay, right. So this is one very key difference that you need to understand when it comes to Wipro's adaptive test. If you want more details on how to approach an adaptive test, we have already covered this in our Accenture Aspiring Minds test in our first webinar. So that video is very much available in our Facebook page, where I have shown a complete demo of how you need to approach an adaptive test. So you can watch that video in case if you need more details on how you should approach the adaptive test, right? So with that information, I'll quickly move to the next part. So Automata is the name given by Aspiring Minds for their coding platform. Okay, there's like how AMCAT, they have the test name. For the platform name, they have given Automata, or the test name for coding evaluation, they have given Automata coding evaluation. Okay, so that's what is Automata is. There's nothing big in that. So it's just like any other coding evaluation platform, online compiler, right? So in Wipro's test, you will be given a choice of language. You can use either C, C++, or Java. So language, it doesn't matter because the programs are like pretty simple and basic. So if you can understand the logic to solve those questions, I think you will be able to solve it in any of the languages, right? Now, the key difference here is like you need to write the program using the given function definition. So they concentrate more on the functions, how you write the functions for those programs than other parts. Okay, so it's like they would have given already the definition for the functions, and you will have to write as per that. Okay, so that's one small slight difference that we have seen in the Wipro's coding test this year. Now, some of the strategies that we recommend for the coding is like, okay, before that, among the languages, you can only use C, C++, or Java, no other languages. Now, what we recommend is like, please practice programming using an online compiler. Okay, it can be any platform, but make sure that it's an online compiler, not your desktop compilers. Okay, so that you are familiar with how the online compilers and other things works, right? Now, there are some key areas from where we have seen many questions repetitively. So like say concepts related to loops, strings, and functions. Okay, so these things, make sure that you brush up and practice many programs on these areas. Now, out of the two programs, at least one program should be correct to move to the next round. Okay, so there's no need to get both the programs correct, but make sure that at least one program is correct and passing all the test cases. So some of the sample programs that we wanted to share with you, okay? So we have seen programs like program to calculate GCD of given numbers. You need to print the star or any number pattern, okay? And removing vowels from a string. So these are some of the sample programs that we have seen in the current year Wipro's recruitment test, okay? So these are not the only programs that they give many other programs also. So we've got the complete list of the programs till now, whatever they have asked from our student community. And thanks to all the students who are, giving us continuous feedbacks and, how the test pattern is. And even many students have shared some of the questions, and only from those resources, we are sharing with you these few things. So programs related to, GCD of a given number. So all these are the sample programs that has been asked in the Wipro's coding test. So practice similar programs, and all our tests are updated with the latest programs or the latest questions. So new tests has been added whenever we get the updates. So all our tests are updated. So if you are practicing in our platform, you need not worry. We have already added the updated tests with the latest questions, so you can practice those. But one precaution is like, don't expect the same questions to come. Okay, so people, you will have to make sure that you should be prepared for the surprises. So if you get any new question, also make sure that you practice, understand the concept and practice it. Don't by heart the programs for these questions, right? Okay. So before we move to the next topic of essay writing and other stuffs, once again, okay, yeah, right. So I'll just take some quick questions from you guys, and then we'll continue the webinar, right? So as one question, can we use Python for coding test? I've already told only 3 languages are allowed. So you can use any of those 3 languages. So will the test conducted by aspiring minds for both Wipro and Accenture of same level? So difficulty level, actually it increases if you get the answers correct. So yeah, it works with the same algorithm, same pattern. Only the topics of concentration will be different for Wipro and Accenture. Wipro, it's more or less almost all areas we have seen questions from. What will be the coding of automata? Sorry, I couldn't understand this question. I saw in your website that there is a programming round. Is it so? Yes, there is a programming round. So who is the vendor for Zoho? Zoho, they conduct the test themselves. Okay. I have attempted Wipro test on your site and got 82 percentile. Do I need to practice more, or is it okay to clear the Wipro test? 82 percentile, you are since I've told like the test conversion is like a 5% to 10 percentage, you will be definitely safe if you are above 90 percentile, right? So you are slightly less than 90 percentile, so try to score well. And another thing is, in our site you are competing among almost everyone across the country, right? So but in your case, for the campus recruitment, you are competing only within your campus. Okay, so 82, it should be good enough if you think you are practiced well when compared to your peers. So where to attend the practice test? It's available in our website. So you can go to placementseason.com and you can search for Wipro's test and you can attend. How many rounds are total in Wipro? So the test consists of aptitude, coding, essay, and then you have technical interview, then you have the personal interview. There is sectional cutoff or overall cutoff for the first round. There is sectional cutoff. The aptitude test consists of 3 sections. So there is sectional cutoff for each section, quant, verbal, reasoning. And then you will have to clear the coding round, and then you will have to clear the essay writing. Sir, is it necessary to practice program of tree and linked list? Yes, it is necessary because we have seen many questions related to that. It would be better if you share a few similar coding problems till today in Wipro. That's what I've shown. The current slide, it shows a few problems. And there are few more problems, which are updated in our site. So you can refer there. Right. Okay. So let's move on. So the next one is essay writing. So where you will be given 20 minutes and 300 words of essay you will have to take. And topics, it could be anything, right? And concentrate more on spelling and grammar, right? So again, this is evaluated automatically. So it's like the algorithm, it checks your spelling mistakes and the grammar mistakes, and it also checks the relevancy of your essay. So make sure that you write something relevant to the topic that is given to you. Some of the topics that we have seen till now in Wipro's essay writing test is, so if we have to be good leaders, we must obey. So this is one topic. About pollution, they have asked to write. Trends in education, nuclear weapons, about social media. So social media is like hot topic, Capgemini also, they have many topics related to social media, even Wipro. So these are all like general topics that we have seen in Wipro till now, right? Now, essay writing, how to practice essay writing. So again, in placement season, we have a separate essay writing package, and we have a separate portal for practicing essay writing, and that is essay.placementseason.com. So I think I'll share with you here. It's essay.placementseason.com. So where we have built an algorithm to automatically evaluate your essays based on 4 parameters. That is number of words used, spelling mistakes, grammatical errors, and the relevancy of your essay, right? So you'll be getting scores, and then you will also be notified what spelling mistakes you have done and what grammar mistakes that you have done, right? So you can practice essays in our platform. So you can purchase the essay writing practice package from our portal, and then you can start practicing this. So we have given close to 50 essay writing topics. So I think practicing that will be more than sufficient for you to clear this essay writing round. Okay, so that's about Wipro's essay writing section. So before we move, I'll just take some quick questions. Is essay writing an elimination round? Yes, essay writing is an elimination round. Do we need to study data structure for Wipro? Yes. Sir, will there be given test cases in coding round in Wipro? Yes, obviously, test cases will be there. All rounds are conducted in the same day? Yes, all the rounds are conducted in the same day. So when will the off-campus drives? So Wipro on campus itself, their recruitment numbers are very less. So this year, I don't think so Wipro will have any off-campus drives. What should we concentrate more for the technical interview part? So almost all basic concepts, you need to be well versed. Even if they ask you to write some simple programs, you should be in a position to write. Essay writing will be, see, all aptitude, coding, and then essay writing all forms your first round. Okay. So only after completing all this, you will be given the results where you will be asked to, whether you are selected for the next round or not. Can there be really huge test cases? Like, yes, there can be. Okay, so that's why your program should make sure that it's passing for all the test cases. What about GD? We have not seen GD in most of the colleges because the test conversion itself is very less. Okay, I've shown you, right? If 1,000 students are attending the test, there are only about some 60 students, 70 students are getting cleared. So we have not seen GD this year in Wipro. Any dead KTs are allowed in Wipro? Sorry, I couldn't understand your question. Sir, I have campus Wipro Drive on 20th September. I'm feeling difficult about coding questions, so please provide some tips. You have to practice. So I've already shared some, topics that has been asked in Wipro's coding test. So you will have to practice a lot. So we have updated our practice tests with the latest coding questions. So you can use that to prepare. Is networking an important topic for technical interview? No, I don't think so. Is turbo hiring is the name of their hiring process? So turbo hiring is different. That's for 6 lakh package. Their normal hiring is for 3.25 lakh package. So turbo hiring is different. Do they only ask from preferred subjects in technical interview? It depends on the panel, man. So it depends on how you take the interview forward. So how to apply off campus? Off campus, as of now, I don't have any information on that. Sorry. What is the required criteria for Wipro to participate? Please ask your placement cell. Since Wipro will conduct an adaptive test, will be the way. Okay, listen. See, in our portal, since ours is a practice test portal, we give the weightage for the question visible to you. Okay, and that will not be visible in an actual test. So please bear this in mind. So don't expect the weightage for the questions to be visible to you. It will not be visible. Since ours is a practice platform, we make it visible to you so that you can understand how an adaptive test works. Okay, because there are many practice platforms are there which are giving adaptive tests without a proper adaptive algorithm. Okay, so that's why we thought that we should actually display the weightage so that you can really understand how an adaptive platform works. Right. Wipro have sent some new topics for coding, so please give some tips. No, I don't think so. New topics are given. It's the same, the 3 pages. Almost all the areas they have covered in the first list itself, man. So I don't think so. There's anything extra that they can ask. I request you to give us the link for verbal book. Yeah, I'll share the link at the end. Can they quiz me deeply on Android if I have project on Android platform? Yes, if you have done a project on Android platform and the interviewer is also, interested in Android apps or anything, so definitely they will quiz you. Is there a technical written test? There's no technical written test. There's only a coding test. Do you provide a free portal for essay practicing? For essay alone, we don't have, a free practice, because we have, really spent many huge hours in developing that automatic evaluation algorithm. Sir, Infosys is visiting my campus on 18th. Please make a Infosys webinar. We have already completed, so you can refer our Facebook page videos. You will get that link. Yes, sir. Wipro added new topics. See, we have already got the complete list of topics, that Wipro has been asking. Okay, I am not sure what is the topic that you have got earlier, but the list that we have got is exhaustive, and it has almost all the areas that we have that could be asked. Design analysis algorithms, it was there previously itself. The list that we have, it has all these areas. In fact, we have added few questions on those areas as well in our practice tests. What kind of coding questions we expect? I've already shared some of that. Will you make a video for turbo hiring? Turbo hiring is not our focus, because turbo hiring happens only at very limited institutions, maybe a handful of institutions. So I don't think so many students would be interested in that. Okay. Right. So yeah. So what is the cutoff that you can expect for Wipro? See, there is a separate cutoff for each section, and since it's an adaptive test, your scores will be normalized. Okay, so in aptitude, what we recommend is like in each section. So let me just quickly go back to right. So you have 16 questions and 16 minutes. So make sure that you get at least 2 sets of 5 to 6 questions correct in quantitative section, so that you can easily clear the cutoff. That means out of 16, you should get 10 to 12 questions correct, but at least 5 to 6 questions continuously correct in 2 sets. Okay. Right. And logical, there's 18 questions and 18 minutes. Again, here, I would suggest you to at least get 5 to 6 questions correct in 2 sets, and maybe alternate questions 1 or 2. That would suffice for clearing the logical round. Verbal, you should get 3 sets of 5 to 6 questions correct. Okay, so that is very important in verbal, because you have 22 questions for 22 minutes. So 3 sets of minimum 5 questions correct. So continuously 5 questions, and then another 5, and then another 5. So that is required. So that means if I say that 15 questions you should get correct in verbal, it's not that 15 questions alternatively or in between missing out some questions. No, you should get at least 15 questions in 3 sets of 5 questions correct. Because it's an adaptive test, if you get your answers continuously correct, that means the weightage for the questions will be high, and the marks that you score will also be high. And in coding, we have already given out of 2 programs, 1 you should get correct. And another thing that we have noticed is like, out of the 2 programs that Wipro gives, 1 program for most of the students it is common, and the other program it varies from a student to student. Okay, so that's another interesting point that we have feedback that we received on the coding round. So you should get at least 1 program correct in the coding round. Essay writing, so one question. So if your spelling and grammar mistakes are within the allowed limit, then definitely you can expect the selection. And since this year the selection is less in Wipro, 5 to 10%, which is very, very less, practice a lot. Okay, that's why we have added many new tests into the already existing test packages. So practice a lot. Right. Okay. So in all the practice tests, try to maintain above 70% accuracy so that you can be sure of your selection. And the next is practice our adaptive tests within the time limit. So we have tests with sectional time limits. So practice it with that time limit, right? And all our practice tests are updated with all these changes. And we have got very good feedbacks from the students, and even they have shared lots of questions that they have attempted to us, and we have updated all our tests with those changes, right? So as usual, so I would like to share with you, our Quant formula book and vocabulary ebooks that we have prepared, right? So these books will be of helpful to you to brush up your formulas at the last minute, right? And we have also prepared a synonyms antonym book. So I'll just show you a glimpse of the Quant formula book that we have prepared. So this is a free Quant formula book that we have prepared. So almost all the topics are covered in this. So these are synonyms antonyms books, right? So these are the links again, bit.ly/quant formula book and bit.ly/synonyms and antonyms. So I'll just answer a few questions. So how is the coding round evaluated? Is there complexity checks, or no, it's just a simple test case passing? So the test cases will be testing how your program runs, even for extreme cases, negative cases, right? How to solve the coding practice? Can you give some sample topics for essay? I've already shared in the webinar, so you can see the webinar again. Does the vocabulary contain the steps to be followed in the data sufficiency topic? Now that will be there in a different ebook. I think by tomorrow or day after, that ebook for reasoning will be ready, and we'll share the link through email to all. You can also watch our Facebook page to get that link. Please tell something about Capgemini recruitment test. We have already done a webinar on Capgemini. Please follow our Facebook page to get that video. It's there in our Facebook page. Can the coding can be done in desired language, or they will mention? You will be given a choice. 3 languages you can use: C, C++, Java. I'm repeating again, Wipro this year, the conversion rate is very less. So make sure that you practice well. We have seen only 5 to 10% conversion rate. So yeah, so I'll take questions for another 5 minutes or so before we wind up this webinar. What if we pass half of the test cases in coding round? So that will not be considered, okay? So make sure that at least for one program, you get all the test cases passed. Hi, has IBM also added coding part? We have not got any feedback on IBM changing their test pattern this year. Maybe you can just send an email to friends@placementseason.com. So we will reconfirm that again to you. Any ebook for programming questions? No programming. We just have our practice tests, which are updated with the new changes. So you can practice our coding tests. So have you mailed the vocab ebook? You can download it from the links that I'm sharing with you. So here are the links. So you can download it directly from the links. So bit.ly/quant formula book and bit.ly/synonyms and antonyms. Brute force solutions of high complexity will be accepted or not. See, if your program passes for all the test cases, it's fine. That's the maximum that they check. They don't go in depth about what method you use to solve, what logic you use to solve that program. Will the programs have different weightage? No, I don't think so. Programs doesn't have different weightage. Can we switch languages while coding? Yeah, I think you can switch languages while coding. So if you switch, I think whatever you have written in the previous language, it will be gone and you will have to start fresh. Please tell me about Prototech recruitment process. It is visiting our campus this Monday. Send an email to friends@placementseason.com. You will get a reply. Which coding problem should come from DS and algorithm? Sorry, I didn't understand this question. Right, before we get our next question. So as usual, so I have a request to you all. So any updates related to campus tests or anything, do keep us informed by sending a note to friends@placementseason.com. So through us, you can actually reach out to lakhs of other students who are aspiring to get their first job, right? Computational geometry, line segment properties, intersection of line segment, finding the convex hull, closest pair of points. These are some of the new topics given by our college for Wipro. So please give some tips. Right. So like I mentioned, we also got these updates long back. Okay. So we have updated our tests with all these updates. So maybe what you can do is like you can also send an email to friends@placementseason.com so that we'll share with you relevant links from where you can practice. So, but we got these updates long back, Amit. So that's why I'm very confident that we have already got these updates from the students that we have. So which coding problem may come from DS and algorithm? I think I'm not able to understand this question. I think, are you asking whether the coding program might come from data structures or algorithm? So which area to concentrate? See, the questions are not fixed for all the students, so it's generated randomly. So it depends on your luck on which areas you are getting. Okay, we expect DP programs. Yes. What about PRP students? So what is PRP? Maybe if you can tell me what is PRP, then I can share with that. So what are the main topics which non-CS students can learn in short time for recruitment? See, you know very well that the IT industry is not doing that great and the numbers that they require are less. So whenever they require less numbers, they prefer CS IT grads, okay? So they don't prefer non-CS grads. So you have to be good at coding this time, unfortunately, when it comes to Wipro. So, and otherwise it will be very difficult for you to move to the next round. You can, non-CS students can concentrate on cracking companies like Accenture and Infosys, where they don't have any technical tests in that. PRP is the course conducted by Wipro. I think you are referring to see, Wipro has two kinds of recruitments for campuses. One is a turbo, profile, so where they come for a package of 6 lakhs per annum, and a normal profile where they come for a 3.25 lakhs per annum. This webinar, whatever we are discussing, it's for their normal recruitment process, bulk hiring process for the 3.25 lakh per annum profile. So I've already explained what is turbo hiring. Okay, PRP is the exclusive training program for students from various streams for Wipro. Okay, right. But I don't think so this year they have any preference for candidates of PRP. See, last year Wipro even had this, like say, a direct interview, no written test for selected students. This year they have excluded that also. So it's like everyone has to undergo this process. I hope I have answered your question. Okay. Yeah, the next one. Are there any topper? That's what I said. Topper, shop is not there this year. So I have already covered the topics that you need to focus for coding. So you can watch this webinar again. So the video will be available in our Facebook page. So you can watch that. Right. Okay. So do you know that what rounds may be there in turbo hiring? I think you can put an email to friends@placementseason.com, so you'll get the reply immediately. I think turbo hiring, it's done in one of the institutions that we know. I think probably we can definitely get the information for you. How can I prepare for coding test? Practice, practice, practice. If you are already not that good at computer science concepts and other thing, I think it's better to, practice some questions of coding, whatever that comes in Wipro, and then try your luck. So that's what you can do. Right. So I've already shared on the screen a coupon code exclusive for all you guys who have taken your time to watch this webinar. So you can use this coupon code and get 25% discount in all our test packages that you want to practice purchase today. So this coupon code is valid till midnight of 15 September, that's today. So you can use this coupon code, right? So which is exclusive for you guys who have taken time to attend this webinar, right? Okay, sir, how to appear in turbo? See, turbo hiring, it's for only selected institutions. So you will have to check with your college regarding the turbo hiring. So will placement season be hiring BTech grads in near future? So we have already, completed or done our major campus hiring for 2018 batch. So since we are located in South India, so we have already visited some of the top institutions in South India and hired candidates for our requirements, both full stack developers and growth hackers. So should I mail to friends@placementseason.com? Yes. Veeramani Kannan, yes, you're right. So you can mail to friends@placementseason.com. Sir, overall toughness, moderate, hard, Wipro? Okay. So overall, I would say that it is moderate, but the cutoff is very high. So the selection is very less. So that's why there is only 5 to 10% test conversion. So it's mainly because the company has less requirement. So there's nothing to worry in case if you're not able to crack it. So all that you need to do is you have to blame, the current IT situation, right? But nevertheless, you should not give hope. So you should make sure that you practice well, put in the hard work and the effort, and if the result comes your way, be happy. If it doesn't come your way, try for the next company. Okay, this is not the end. Right. So with that, so I would like to end this webinar. So again, so practice well. Wipro, the conversion rates are very less, so you'll have to put in extra effort for Wipro. Practice well. All our practice tests are updated to the latest Wipro pattern. And another, important information which I forgot to share with you guys. This Sunday, you know very well that we keep free mock tests on every Sundays, and this Sunday we are having Wipro free mock test. So in case if you guys are attending Wipro test, make sure that you can practice and use this Sunday's mock test also, right? So with that information, I would like to end this webinar. Thanks, guys. Thanks for attending. Keep supporting us. Keep sending your feedbacks and your interview experiences to us. Through us, you can make sure that your information reaches thousands of students like you, right? Thank you.